Welcome. Thanks for coming along this afternoon and spending some time with us. You're at the Sustainable Mobility Cluster Builder Opportunities in EV Charging and Inclusivity. If you need to be somewhere else and you're in the wrong place, feel free to hang around. This will be really interesting. My name's Dan Langford. I work for an organization called Foresight. We are a multidisciplinary innovation practice dedicated to accelerating the next generation of technologies, services, and policy frameworks. We work with organizations all over the world and projects that improve lives, protect the environment, and boost local economies. We also operate the Sustainable Mobility Cluster Builder here in Scotland. Our goal is to basically build a community around sustainable mobility and assist companies progress their technologies and solutions. And what I'll do is provide a little bit more information on that right now. And this is what I just said. At the end of the day, this initiative is all about helping the Scottish government and everyone in Scotland achieve those targets and the decarbonisation of transportation. And to provide a little bit more background on what sustainable mobility looks like and how it impacts the economy. It contributes to a fairly significant chunk of the economy. As it says here, 10% of Scotland, of the Scottish economy, is impacted by mobility, which aligns with other countries around the world. I know in the US, transportation accounts for something like 12% of the GDP. So fairly familiar. It employs a lot of people. There's a lot of companies working in this space, and has a fairly significant turnover. So it's clearly an important area to be focusing on. So as the goals that I mentioned, you're probably very familiar with a lot of these, like phasing out the need for new petrol and diesel vehicles by 2030, decarbonising flights by 2040, and one that's coming up quite quickly as well is reducing those car kilometres by 20%. Road transportation in particular accounts for quite a bit of the greenhouse gases emitted in Scotland. So that's a particular target area that you might have been seeing a lot of efforts and initiatives behind. So when we say sustainable mobility, what exactly does that encompass? It's quite broad and wide-ranging, as you can see here. It does cover things like maritime and aviation. There's particular focus areas here in Scotland around connected and automated vehicles. Energy and powertrain plays a fairly significant role, especially when we are talking about decarbonisation. And of course, there's a lot of logistics and freight services and things like your everyday mobility services that we're all very familiar with. What do we do? What does the Sustainable Mobility Cluster Builder do? We supporting those targets, as I mentioned, with the initial step in an initiative that was launched a couple of years ago now. The role we play is to foster linkages between organizations working in sustainable mobility and enhance that community, to make those connections, pursue different funding, collaborative opportunities, developments of new products and services, and really building out that supply chain within Scotland to help address those needs. Generally, at a very high level, we're here to help SMEs in particular innovate, collaborate, and grow, and at the end of the day, be successful. At the end of this presentation, at the end of this session today, I'll sort of explain some of the specific services that we provide free of charge to help support businesses. So getting into what we're going to be talking about today, our opportunities in EV charging and inclusivity. Welcome. That's what we're doing right now. We're going to have a couple of introductory speakers that will provide a higher level overview of what exactly EV charging inclusivity is all about. We'll then hear from a handful of companies that have been working on different innovative products and solutions to address some of the challenges around EV charging and inclusivity. And then we'll have a panel discussion and a bit of a Q&A. That'll be your opportunity to sort of ask questions of any of our speakers, as well as contribute to that discussion. And towards the end of the day, we will explore some funding opportunities, not necessarily related to this topic, but there's a lot of sustainable mobility funding out there right now. And we'll dig into some of those, and hopefully I think today we'll probably be wrapping up a little bit early. So hang around.